Hi guys, welcome to Gnarly Knives.
We got a review for you guys today. What knife are we reviewing, Scarlett?
We're reviewing the Spyderco Delica 4, as you can see.
Yep, so this knife here, I know there are a ton of videos already on YouTube about these, so hey, what's one more? But this is a knife I've carried for a very long time, and since this is in pretty much every one of my review videos as a size comparison, I thought it was only time that we do justice to the knife and do a full actual review on it. I've had this knife for a couple of years now, and this is actually a very good knife. I would definitely recommend this for someone if they're just looking for one knife to have, and maybe they're not looking to get into knives in general. They just want one good knife that's well-rounded and you can use pretty much anywhere and also carry just about anywhere, because this blade length falls right into many of the legal requirements. So just get the measuring tape. So we have a total blade length of 2 3/4 inches, but the actual cutting edge is 2.5 inches, and then we have an overall length of 6 7/8 inches, so just under 7 inches overall. And it's also a very light knife. This knife weighs just under 2.5 ounces. It weighs 2.4 ounces. What is really great with this knife is it does lend itself to be completely ambidextrous, and you also have options. You have tip up and tip down, left and right side, and it is the famous Spyderco spoon clip. Also, being a backlock, you can left or right-handed easily access it, and then it does not have the doesn't have thumb studs, but you do have the Spidey hole, so you can easily access from left or right side without any problem. So this is a great knife for anyone, even our left-handed friends. This knife, like I said, I have carried for a very long time. I mean, it has since kind of fallen more towards the back, just in that, I have so many knives now, I like to carry them all, but I do still carry this once in a while, because it is a very good knife. One of the great things about it does have a very neutral blade. It is the leaf shape, but it also a full flat grind, so it does lend itself well for obviously utility tasks, EDC stuff, but also if you're doing some small food cutting tasks as well. Oh, bless you.
Thank you, Daddy.
This does work very well too, because it is a very thin blade. At its thickest point, it is about 2.5 millimeters, but then tapers down. And then even the tip itself, though it is relatively thin, the tip of the blade does kind of drop a little bit. So not quite a drop point, but it just goes and just kind of rounds off a bit. But it is still a very good piercing tip, even though it might not be like some of the other Spydercos. But you can still definitely open up the plastic, those blister packs and stuff. And this is really great for slicing cardboard. It's just an amazing knife overall, and it is actually still a pretty good steel. The steel on it is VG10, so yeah, I know compared to a lot of today's standard knives, VG10 you're looking kind of more mid-range, but VG10 is a great steel. It is a stainless steel, and I've never had any issues with rust with this blade. And it is also a pretty tough blade as well. I've even done a little bit of carving with it, just to demonstrate just some harder usage with it. This is a piece of seasoned oak. You've probably seen in some of the other videos. And it still just digs right into the wood. I mean, yes, this is not a Scandi grind or made as a carving knife, but you can see it does take the chunks right out, and it does carve very well. I mean, this is very hard seasoned oak. That's been cut down for a few years now. So I love using it in the reviews. And VG10 does take a great edge. I'm just shaving the hair right here. And to give you an even good demonstration, Scarlett, may I shave your arm?
Yes.
So as a 6-year-old with very, very fine hairs. I know, it's silly. Let's see, look at that.
Clean off.
Yeah, it just takes the hairs right off. This knife, it is very good. I mean, some people, it's not a deep carry, so you will have about this much poking up out of your pocket. That might be an issue for some people. It's never really been an issue with me. And it does have very good action. I mean, just a very light flick, and you get it right open. I mean, this knife I have taken apart a few times, especially knives I carry a lot. I like to keep them clean and oiled. And this knife, I've never had any issues putting together or taking apart. And from it wearing in, I mean, you can use it very similar to the compression lock, because it's not a very, you don't need a lot of force to close the back lock. I can just use my index finger and then flick it closed, so you can absolutely use this. Oh, see right there. But you can definitely use this one-handed open and close. Or if you don't want to do it like that, what you can also do is just flick it down like that, and then you can just close it on your pants or something like that, or your leg rather, or just something that you're working on. But it is a very, very well made blade. This knife has been around for a very long time. I believe it was the late 80s. This is the 4th installment in the series, Delica 4. And this knife does come very highly recommended from me, because, like I said, I have carried this a lot, and I have used this for many, many different tasks, anything from food prep, cutting cardboard like you saw, opening blister packs, or, doing a little bit of wood shaving and carving. I really do enjoy this because, the weight isn't usually an issue with me at all, but that it is very light and it doesn't take up much space in the pocket. I always carry a lot of things in my pocket, so I can definitely appreciate a lighter knife, and it doesn't sink all the way down in the pocket when you have it clipped in, so it's not getting caught on my keys or light or anything else that's in there. To give you some size comparisons, I'm going to have my assistant Scarlett here. So what's the first knife we're going to compare it to?
Here is another Spyderco.
Yep, so this is the Paramilitary 2. So just to give you size comparison, so I mean, it is much smaller than the Paramilitary 2. But just want to give, because I know most people will already have a Paramilitary 2 if you don't already have a Delica, so I'll give you a good idea for size. But we do also have some other
Spydercos.
Yeah, we have one more Spyderco and a couple other knives in this same size range to give you some competitive options. Because this knife, price-wise, if you are interested in it, it is going for about $77 the last time I checked on Amazon. So yeah, it does seem like a bit of an investment, which it is. $75 is a lot of money for a knife. But if it's something that you want to get as just one knife, and that's just your knife for the rest of your life, this really is a great way to go, And then, like I said, too, it has the 2.5-inch cutting edge. So, I mean, that is well within. I mean, most places are 3.5 inches or 3 inches, or they want you to be under 3 inches, and this definitely fits in that qualification. Even with the full length of the blade itself, it's only coming in at 2 3/4 inches. But one thing you can use with this, I do find to be kind of cool, if you do want to choke up on it, though it doesn't have a dedicated choil, but that area in front of the guard and where right before where the edge starts, you can, I have larger fingers, but you can definitely fit right in there, and you don't have to worry about sliding up or cutting yourself. I mean, this is a very, very good utility blade. Honey, so do you want to hand me the next knife? We'll kind of compare it to. So these are kind of a range of different prices. So this one here would be a Kershaw Chill. So you definitely will get this for a lot cheaper. I mean, this knife goes for less than $20, probably $20 at most. But you are also making the sacrifice in the blade steel. It is 8CR13 MOV, not a bad steel, but edge retention is definitely close to double with your VG10, so you will not be sharpening it quite as often. But if you do like the liner lock and the flippers, this definitely isn't a bad way to go. But overall, I would just take the Delica every time compared to this knife, which is not a bad knife, but for what I'm looking for in a knife, I'd really just rather reliability and not have to worry. I'll just take that every time. So we'll go with the next knife here, honey. Which is that going to be?
This will be this pretty green knife.
Oh, so yeah, this is the steel will cut jag. This is the smaller version. So they have the two versions of the cut jag. I grabbed the smaller one because It's more fitting. This one would be a good comparison, and I mean, even price-wise, because it is a good amount less money. You can get these for about $40, whereas you're paying upwards of 75, 77 for these. So this does come with D2 steel. So if you like D2, you know, this is a good option. You do have a little bit longer of a cutting edge and a full dedicated choil, but D2 being a tool steel, but it's semi-stainless, so you will have more maintenance requirements with the D2 versus the VG10. So if it's something that you are concerned about, or if you are going to be doing a lot of food stuff, I still think you might be better off with your Delica. But the cut jack is a very great knife, and I do actually want to do a video comparing the full-size cut jack with the mini cut jack, because it is a really good knife, and it's very good ergonomics. And another thing too, I know not everybody is in love with backlocks, and I wasn't either until I got this knife, but you do have a liner lock and a flipper option with your cut jack mini. And so we got another knife to look at here. So this one here is probably the closest in size. This here being the Ontario Rat 2, and this one is also the D2 model. So you can see handle or looking almost identical, and blade size overall. This, like I said, is the D2 and the liner lock. Yes, honey.
Daddy, this is like in one of our videos. With mine. We did the Rat 1. If you saw that video before.
Right. Yeah. So this is the Rat 2, which is a smaller version of the Rat 1.
Because the Rat 1 is my favorite.
Yes. Thank you, honey. And I also too, I want to do a full video or maybe even a small series about the Rat 1 and Rat 2 knives, because that's really what got me going when it came to folding knives. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about your Delica here. So your Rat 1, or your Rat 2 rather, I'm sorry, is not quite half the price, a little over half the price. You're looking about $38 to $40 for this. You know, given the choice between the two, I really still like the Delica a bit more. The Delica is a little more comfortable in my hand. I do have the larger size hands, and I can get my whole hand on the blade and have just a little bit poking out. Whereas with the Rat 2, you know, I just feel like, you know, my pinky's kind of trying to jam up on the handle so I can get some space on it. But you do have a similar feature where right up above where the finger guard is, you can do that choil. You know, use it as a choil, but it's not really the most comfortable. So I really personally like to go with the Delica over it, but I do love all these knives. That's why I have them and continue to have them and carry them and use them, because they are all great knives. Then we have one last knife. If you do like the Delica and you're thinking about a Delica, but maybe you want a larger knife.
Like this one, it's a Spyderco, just like... So here are 3 Spydercos we have today.
Thank you, honey. So this here is basically the big brother to the Delica 4, is the Endura 4. So if you wanted something with a little larger, if you do have larger hands or you want a larger blade, this is a good way to go. This one here, this is the ZDP 189 version. They do also make a ZDP 189 version of the Delica 4 as well. It goes up around the 110 to 120 range. Definitely worth it. We'll definitely go into it more at some point when I do my Endura 4 review, but I may get a regular Endura 4 first, and I can do a comparison and everything. But the reason I love this knife so much, but it's because of this knife. Because everything I loved about this knife, I just wished it was a little bit bigger, because I do love carrying larger knives. And then I discovered the Endura 4, and I ended up going with the ZDP model, because I was getting more into sharpening and everything. But these do also come in VG10, and you can actually get it in the same color with the blue. But they come in multiple colors, so there's pretty much a color for everybody, every style and option. I mean, pretty much just wrapping up here, you know, if this is a knife that you are considering, you know, since it is a very popular knife, you can find these in a lot of stores. I mean, I got this personally at the Army Barracks, which is a Army Navy store in New England here, mainly in the New Hampshire and Mass area. But you go to your Bass Pro Shops, anything like that, a place that will sell more than just your Walmart style knives, you will be able to find these and be able to handle it, see what you actually really like of it. But you really can't go wrong at all with this. I mean, it's very easy to disassemble and reassemble, and it doesn't require much maintenance at all, especially with that VG10. And especially if you're someone who either isn't very into sharpening or is relatively new, it's a good steel to be able to get sharp pretty easily, and it doesn't take much work, and it really is able to hold a very good edge for a long time, and especially in combination with the strop. So if you're not someone who likes to sharpen a lot, this is a good steel as well, especially when using your strop. So I really hope you enjoyed this review, and I really hope you got some good information out of this. If it is something that you are thinking of looking into, hopefully kind of get you pointed in the right direction with it. Do you have anything you want to say while closing out?
Wow, the Army Barracks is a really good place. You can buy some of these knives. There's so many.
Yeah.
They'll tell you some facts about them too.
Yeah, they are very good there. But yeah, so please remember to like
and subscribe
and comment and share.
Down below.
Yes, let us know what you think, or if you have this knife, let's talk about it a bit. Let us know in the comments what you think, and you guys have a great day. You want to say goodbye?
Goodbye, guys. See you in our next video.
Yeah, remember to stay sharp and keep on carving. And if you do want to see any other videos with Scarlett, we do have some videos just called Folding Knives. Or we have a couple. One of them is Folding Knives, a 6-year-old perspective, and then the other one is Knives, a 6-year-old perspective. You can just scroll down through the list and find those.
Just the other one, just the non-folding one, not the just. We haven't done both of them yet. We have.
Right. Well, we have a couple of videos you guys can check out.
But,
yep. So you guys have a good one. I really hope you got some good information. And remember, keep carving and stay sharp.